I feel kind of like a Mormon or like a Christian evangelical sharing the good news. Like, hockey, have you heard about hockey? Our Lord and Savior hockey? The world is burning around us, but hockey's great.
I feel like that's me lately, is everybody's talking about all these things. I'm just like, but did you watch the game? Like, did you see that play? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, hockey.
Welcome to Sass Slapshots, a podcast for women who love hockey by women who love hockey. We're here to give listeners weekly news, game analysis, and cultural hockey conversations from the perspective of two women who found hockey later in life. There's no shame in our game, from veteran fans to rookies just discovering hockey. Everyone is welcome to learn more and encouraged to become obsessed with the best sport on the planet.
Let's dive like Ben into today's episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first official episode of Sass and Slapshots. My name is Vee, and this is Sarah, and we're just thrilled to be here. I can't believe this is actually happening.
Yeah, it seems like we took it from concept to we're here now recording in such a short amount of time, but we were just so excited and ready for it. I'm just excited to be here.
Yeah, I mean, when you reached out to me on Threads, I was thrilled that somebody had this idea because I quickly became obsessed with hockey from 2022 to 2025. Like, it was a quick
Stanley
slope.
Cup here, man.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell the story about that, which it's really cool. But yeah, I saw your vision. I saw what you wanted to do. And then, you know, the current events and the timelines of things just aligned perfectly with like
They did.
pushing me to like want to pursue this project with you. So I am so excited that we are creating this space, and I'm so excited that you spearheaded this.
Yeah. Well, it was, like I've mentioned to you, I am not normally a people like reach out to people kind of person, but I wanted to do this so bad. And I knew that there was a voice out there that it needed, because me by myself just talking into the ether probably wasn't going to be like the most entertaining. So I knew I had to reach out to somebody. And when we just kind of clicked online on Threads, just screaming during games, and I was like, that's who I need. I need that person who's going to like scream into the void with me.
Yes, I am a chaos hockey goblin as well.
Yes, yeah, right?
And I have no filter, and what you see is what you get. So
yeah.
Perfect.
Especially during games.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. I mean, I am worse than a sailor. It's bad. Which, if you're listening, there's going to be adult words because we're adults. So if you have any little ears, probably not the best time to listen to podcasts. Yeah, so we met on Threads. I don't even know how long ago, just by calling the games together and kind of just coming together over our Avalanche obsession. And I would love to hear how you actually got into hockey, because I'm not sure if I know that story.
It's actually a funny one. So my husband has been a fan since he was a kid and of the Avalanche. So it just never kind of came up in our relationship. But then I started to get really frustrated with football, and it was just so much stoppage time. And I was just getting so bored. And I was like, I really need to find a sport that I love again, because I fell out of love with football. And coming from Kentucky, that was the sport. It's football and basketball. And he was like, I loved Avalanche hockey as a kid. You should check out a hockey game. I watched one hockey game and I was done. I was like, this is it.
Hooked.
This is my sport. Like, I love it. I want to talk hockey. I want to play hockey. I want to learn about hockey. I'm done for. And he just started laughing, and I have become even more obsessed than he has ever become.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's back here laughing at me because I'm just so passionate about hockey now, and following the Avs since then, and just knowing the players. And I'm a numbers girl, so I loved off season. I love doing the contract negotiations and following along with that. It's just so much fun for me. I love hockey.
I love that about you, because I'm not a contract person. Like, I don't want to go through contracts, but I do love like comparing statistics and seeing how those change throughout the season, and just those kinds of analytics is so interesting to me.
Yes.
So I think together we have a really great team, and we kind of just like fill the gaps of where like I don't do well is where you do well.
Yeah.
You found hockey, and you were living in Kentucky, and you moved your whole family here.
We did. We went and watched a game in Nashville. And again, live hockey, there's something different about watching it live. Like it's so much fun to watch on TV, but watching it live, there's just something else about it. And again, it was just, I was done for. And we came to visit Denver about 5 times. And each time we took in a game, and each time I just looked at my husband, I was like, why don't we live here? And he said the same thing. So finally we just decided to up and move so that we could take in more Avalanche hockey and that I could do something like this.
Yeah.
Which is a dream come true, is, talking hockey.
Wow. I am so honored to be part of your dream.
Sass and Slapshots is proudly supported by Double Hockey Sticks, the hockey brand that's flipping the script on what hockey culture looks like. Born from a queer creator in an unconventional hockey market, Double Hockey Stick celebrates fans from all walks of life who are ready to take up space at the rink.
From their Hockey is Gay line to the Drop Gloves Punch Nazis collection, their gear is bold, loud, and unapologetically inclusive. Double Hockey Sticks is redefining what it means to be a hockey fan, one design at a time.
Be part of the hockey culture shift by visiting doublehockeysticks.com and wear your hockey heart out loud.
Click the link in our show notes to be a part of the movement. Use code SAS15 for 15% off at checkout through the end of the year.
This is a very recent dream of mine.
Still a dream.
Still a dream. We're still doing it together.
That's right.
So I discovered hockey in 2022, the Stanley Cup final game. Yeah, Joe, my husband and I, we went to downtown Denver because it was the same night as Pride, coincidentally. And I'm queer, I'm proud, bi girly. And so I was like, I want to go to Denver Pride. And so we were like, yeah, woo. So we went down there and we met up a friend at a sports bar, and we had I was not part of the hockey world. I had no idea what was happening. But we walked in and we got a seat right at a TV. And I remember looking around at this strange mishmash of rainbow and sequins and Avalanche gear and hockey people. And we were all just glued to the TV. And when we won, that eruption it just got into my bones and it stayed there. And I remember being like, whatever I just experienced, I want to experience again and again and again. And
all the time.
All the time. And so, I remember watching another game the next season, and I was like, yeah, I really like this. So we started watching a few games casually, and then we went to our first game in March 2023, and I was like, I am hooked. I started learning statistics of the players and watching, becoming familiar with Riker and Moj and at the time KG, and just kind of learning the inside jokes from game to game. And now I know every player's names and their dogs and their wives. And, it's become such a part of my identity and a part of my relationship. All I talk about at this point in my life is hockey.
Yeah, that's same.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I did before this. I look around and I'm like, what did I do?
What was my life before?
What was it like? And I did feel this kind of fervor for Carolina basketball because I grew up in North Carolina, which is very similar to Kentucky in that there is football and basketball, and that's basically it. I mean, you have the Carolina Hurricanes, but it's such a niche sports team there. It's not anything big like the Avalanches here, at least in my perspective. I grew up in Wilmington, so I wasn't in the Raleigh-Durham area until college, but I still didn't I didn't just casually run into Canes fans,
Yeah.
But I went to Carolina, and so I went during the Roy Williams era. I watched Tyler Hansbrough growing up, and it was just a big deal.
I recognize all the names, yeah.
Right. So I remember being not this obsessed, but I remember being that's my team. I went to the home games because I was a student and everything was Carolina. But now it's hockey is just such a different pace and obsession and joy in my life. And during one of the games that I went to a couple of years ago, it was a women's and hockey night themed event. And I got to skate on the ball arena ice after the game. And I remember just looking up at the Jumbotron and skating around. And I remember being like, I want to work in hockey. I want to work at this arena. And so this year I quit my full-time 9-to-5 career industry job, because I hated it and I was just not in a good place. And I started working at a local coffee shop as a barista, which was not in my cards,
I love it.
But I love it. And then you messaged me and you were like, hey, like, I have an idea, graduated, got my MBA, like, let's do this. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this.
Yes,
so
let's
go. Now we're here, wiggling our way into the Avalanche organization, into sports journalism with absolutely nothing holding us back.
That's
right.
Doing it. That's right. We're doing it. And we're going to be great at it.
We are. I think we already are, We've written so many great articles on our Substack already. And, I've gotten to speak to Julia Tusheri, who is from the Jocks and Jills podcast. You're reaching out to people who have written really intense books about the hockey culture. And we met up with Ryan, who is a credentialed sports journalist who goes into the locker rooms, pregame, postgame, like, all the skates. It's just been so fun to experience how open and excited everybody is to help us.
Yes.
And how people just believe in what we're doing. And it's been a blast.
Well, and I think opening up the world of hockey to women who are learning hockey, because a ton of times I hear people say, well, what's that mean? And I'm like, if we could find a way to like make this where women can come on and be like, I don't feel like I'm being belittled because I don't know. Because we all started somewhere. Like, right. I remember not knowing what offside was. I remember not knowing what icing was and not knowing the hand motions of the refs.
Right.
We all start somewhere. And I just wanted a place where women felt safe coming and saying, I don't know what this means. Help me out.
Right. And I also want women to be comfortable exploring not just the PWHL because they're women. We are two women who got into hockey because of the NHL Colorado Avalanche,
Yes.
Men's league. That's not to say that we are not obsessed with the PWHL, and I will completely be obsessed when they finally get a Denver team.
Yes.
I'm like holding out all of my money for the Denver expansion.
Yes.
I'm going to be very obsessed with it. But I don't want people based on their gender to be pigeonholed into certain leagues or certain sports expectations. I think that the NHL in particular needs to be held accountable for the old boys club vibe of it. And, people talk to me and they say, what are you talking about? There's a women's league. There's always a women's journalist on the sports desk. There's always women on the ice doing pre and post. And it's like, yes, I understand that there are women very active in the organizations, but it's the way that they are employed. It's the way that they are shown on TV. Yeah. And it's the way that the underbelly of the leagues work that Sarah and I are exploring, really. Yeah. And it's not nice, it's dark under there.
It is. The underbelly is interesting. And I just finished a book and an article is going to come out this week that really exposes some stuff that I was just in shock. And I texted you and I'm like, I'm in tears. Like, this is not okay.
Right.
And so some of this stuff is just, like you said, old boys club, where you're like, no, we need some more voices in there. I know we have some already, but we need more voices.
Right.
Of women coming out and being like, I know hockey. I'm going to talk hockey. Let's go.
It's like women. Yeah, sure. Women are on sports desks, but how many minutes do they get? Pay attention next time you watch any event. It's unreal. And I don't know the exact statistics. We're going to work on an article or a podcast episode later about it. Yes, I know the NHL employs women, but how many women are in PR and communications and social media instead of upper management, front of office, and analysts? I just, I'm very curious to see. It's just how women are viewed and the things in hockey that are so nice. And there needs to be more voices and more accessibility to that information. I know there are other podcasts and other platforms, right? But how often are we going to get new fans if all of that information is already on SportsCenter? Like, no one, like new fans, women who don't necessarily know about the hockey world and how amazing it can be, aren't gonna go to SportsCenter and watch a round table. Like, I want people who are scrolling threads to see it and be like, oh, that's interesting, like, let me check it out.
Let's go see.
Right. And It was like the article that I wrote about Mark Walters from the PWHL. You know, I got a couple of comments like, well, everybody knows that. And it's like, actually, no, everybody doesn't know that, which is why I'm talking about it.
Right. I didn't. Until I read your article, I had no clue. It was phenomenal to go on there and dig a little deeper instead of it being all the surface. Well, this team scored this many goals and this team did this and this is the points leader. Yeah, that's all great stuff and we love to see it.
Right.
But let's look a little deeper. Let's get a little more into things. And so the finding out that the PWHL was owned by a man was one of those things I was like,
what?
Really?
Yeah. and I like the nuance of it too. Like, you know, I do think there is, it's not all black and white. You know, what Mark Walters is using his money for, the PWHL, is fantastic. It's unreal. It's given us a whole league and a whole industry and little girls dreaming about finally having a career in professional sports. Like, that's all well and good, but he's still a billionaire, still a single man, still investing in some really unsavory things. And I think both of those can exist in the same universe. I mean, they do exist in the same universe.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of bringing a voice to that, and not everybody knows about it. And so even if you listen to this and you're like, well, how didn't you know? It's like, okay, that's not the vibe, man. We're trying to.
We're still learning too.
Yeah, like I literally just learned what forecheck and backcheck was. Like, come on, like I'm not a hockey expert by any means, but I'm definitely willing to put in the work and the research and just to see what's going on. You know, I'm a curious little cat, so. I want to
resonate with people. Yeah, that'll resonate with people though. That like our listeners are going to be like, "Well, I didn't know what a forecheck and a backcheck is." Well, that's great. That's why we're here. We're going to help you out, and we're all going to learn together. Because I'm sure there's a ton of things I still don't know.
And I think that's like the best part about hockey too. Is like I talk to hockey fans that have been hockey fans forever, and they're still like, "Well, I still learn something new like every time I talk about hockey." I'm like, "That's great. Like that's really fun." You know, like the continuous learning and the continuous curiosity is what keeps the game dynamic and evolving.
And fun.
Yeah, it's not stagnant for any of it.
Well, especially all of us still going, what is goalie interference?
No one knows.
knows.
I'm pretty sure the NHL doesn't know. So we're all just trying to figure that out.
And the one the other day, the Natushkin one, they had to like call up to Vancouver, and I was just like, "What is going on?"
Their explanation was awful. So, like, if you see something and you don't know, odds are the refs don't fucking know either. So, you know,
and then they just make stuff up, and you're like, "Oh, okay,
yeah, that's a thing.
That's a thing."
And both of us are starting to play hockey as well.
Yes.
I've played hockey games before, and when I tell you I'm a bad hockey player, I am a bad like, oh, it's awful. I can't even be on a D league. Like, I'm on an E learning league. So, you know, I think listeners will have fun with that too, like learning about our different journeys, like actually learning how to play hockey as women in their 30s.
Right.
Please pass me the weed gummies.
Yeah, I'm gonna hurt everybody.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be like the next morning, like serving coffee, like have a good day.
Family's gonna be like, "Are you okay?"
No, but I'm so happy.
But I had fun doing it.
I have friends.
Right.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun learning professional hockey together, like exploring current events and. People probably laughing their asses off at us trying to play on any kind of team. So,
yeah. I'm going to be laughing at myself.
For sure. I'll be laughing and crying.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of what Sass and Slapshots is going to be. And, you know, Sarah and I have had so much fun just even writing articles together. And this podcast, I can't tell you how excited I am because it just feels like I'm part of an organization, part of something bigger than myself. And the more female, non-binary, queer fans that we can get, the more non-cis het white men we can get into hockey, the better. I think. I want to share. I feel like kind of like a Mormon, or a Christian evangelical, like sharing the good news. Hockey. Have you heard about hockey? Our Lord and Savior, hockey. The world is burning around us, but hockey's great.
Yeah. I feel like that's me lately. Is everybody's talking about all these things? I'm just like, but did you watch the game? Like, did you see that play? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, hockey.
Yeah, If you haven't caught on, Sarah and I are both very progressive people. So, I'll be watching Donald Trump tearing down the East Wing, and I'm like, you know what? You might be tearing down the East Wing, but have you heard about the right wing, Valerie Natushkin? Because he makes great scores, and he lifts me up.
Oh, I like that.
So, yeah, whatever little joy I can get right now as my rights are just stripped away. Thank God we live in Colorado.
Right. Blue states.
Yeah, it's like the saving grace.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, I think that's a good first episode. Kind of just, that's who we are. That's what we're about. That's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Everything and everything and anything we can find to talk about, we're going to talk about it, if it includes hockey.
Yeah. And if you have a suggestion on a podcast episode, we're open to it. If you want to hear, if you have any questions, DM us. Like our outro says, we are chronically online people. So if you have a question, we will answer it. But okay, I think that's a wrap.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Sass and Slapshots. If you're craving more hockey content from us before next week's drop, have no fear. We're two chronically online hockey nerds.
Check out our Substack, social media channels, and support links below. If you're interested in sponsorship or collaboration, feel free to reach out at sassinslapshots.com.
Special shout out to our editor, Joe Bogomil, and our graphic designer, Corey Tyler.
We appreciate all of the support and can't wait to chat with you next week. Bye.
Bye.